Hi, it's Maya here with the end of the year book tag, which was originally created by Ariel Bisset. I have seen this going around for a couple of years, but I have never done it myself, so I thought it was high time. This tag is very short, it's about 6 questions, so let's just get started. The first question is, are there any books you started this year that you need to finish? And I have started the short story collection from Robin Hobb called The Inheritance and Other Stories. So this is half stories written under the Robin Hobb name and half stories written under the Megan Lindholm name. She writes under both names. So I have read the Robin Hobb stories, so 50% of the book, and one of the Megan Lindholm stories. So I need to finish all the Megan Lindholm ones to not bring this collection into the new year. The second question is a bit hilarious to me because it is, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the end of the year? And it is very much turning into winter now here in Finland, so I don't really need an autumnal book. I need a book that feels like winter, so I'm gonna change this to a wintry read, and for that I chose Test of the Twins by Margaret Wise and Tracy Hickman, the last in the Dragonlance Legends. This is a high fantasy trilogy that I've been rereading. I read the first 2 books in this trilogy, I think, during the first months of the year. So I really need to or want to finish this series this year. And for some reason, these feel like winter to me. I think it's something about high fantasy. This is about 2 brothers. There's time travel shenanigans. There's this fraught relationship between them. There's a lot going on. Next, the tag asks me if there's a new release that I'm still waiting for. And yes, there is. There is the Geometries of Belonging from R.B. Lemberg that comes out in November, I think, which is a collection of their short stories. So R.B. Lemberg wrote The Four Profound Weaves, which I loved, and The Unbalancing, which I liked, even though I like The Four Profound Weaves more. And these stories are set in the same world as those 2, the Birdverse, so I will definitely be picking that up. I'm coming back to add this because I forgot one big release that I'm waiting from the end of the year. So that is Into Shadow, which is Amazon's collection of dark fantasy short stories from people like Tamsin Muir, Nivo, and Alexei Harrow. So dark fantasy is something that I think really mixes well into the end of the year with the days getting shorter and everything getting darker. I think dark fantasy is a great winter read. I have already pre-ordered the Tamsin Muir story. I will no doubt pick up the rest of the collection when it comes out. Question number 4. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of the year? I am cheating and saying Test of the Twins again because I really want to read this and finish this series before the end of the year. Then something else that feels wintry to me is fairy tale retellings, and I really want to read Beauty by Sherry S. Tepper before the end of the year. This is a retelling of The Sleeping Beauty. So at the back of this, it says that in this retelling, Beauty is able to sidestep tragedy. So I don't think the Sleeping Beauty falls asleep in this one. And it says that she soon finds herself embarked on an adventure of vast consequences. So that seems like an interesting twist to this. I can't wait to see what sort of a character the Beauty in this is like. I haven't ever read anything from Sherry S. Tepper before, and this book is from the 90s. And the final book, don't at me, is Fool's Assassin by Robin Hobb. I'm a huge Robin Hobb fan. I read the Farsia trilogy in the 90s, and I still haven't read this newest trilogy. I own all the books. I fully expect to love them, but I sort of feel like very protective and personal about these books. I don't really want to talk about them. I don't know why. I'm gonna, in all solitude, read this and see how the story ends. The story that I thought was going to end in The Tawny Man back when I read it. I'm sort of scared, but it's high time. I really want to finish this series. So those were the 3 books. Then the next question is there a book you think could still shock you and become your favorite book of the year? Well, yes, I have a few very, very anticipated releases that I have not yet read, even though I have bought them. So any of those, it depends on what I can get read before the end of the year. So if I get to this, I fully expect this to be a 5-star. So it's not gonna shock me if it becomes my favorite of the year, and a couple of other books as well. But I can't really say none of them would really be shocking. And the final question is, have you already started making reading plans for next year? And no, I haven't, except that I want to start doing reads and receipts again. So my videos where I go through my TBR number and what I read each month of it and give myself little challenges. to keep my buying in control and read more of my physical TBR. I was taking a break this year, and I have bought so many physical books this year. I think more than in the previous years. I just feel like it. I haven't checked my statistics, but I really need to start reading them again more. So Reads and Receipts is definitely going to make a comeback. So that's the end of the year book tag. Book tag videos are always so quick and short. I had forgotten because I haven't done one in a while. Let me know if you have an anticipated release for the latter half of the year, or what you are planning to read for the next 2 and a bit months. And I'll see you in my next video.